morning.
It's good to see you. It's Monet Dalpiaz with Dynamic Moms, and I'm here with Dr. Christine Malenda, and I'm so excited. So Dr. Christine is a Doctor of Metaphysical Healing, and she's going to tell us more about that because it's not something that you hear about often, but I can attest to the fact that what she does is incredible and life-changing. I know her personally, and she has given me so many tools for my toolbox of personal development, and really it's filtered into all of my life, including my motherhood and everything that it is that I do. So I'm excited to hear what it is that you have to say today.
Thank you.
And do you want to let's just go right into, she has something to offer us, and then we're going to hear about her story and what it is that she has to offer you guys. So what is it that you're going to offer us today?
And so I thought for all of the dynamic moms, a great offering would be how to meditate anytime, anywhere. I don't know about you as a dynamic mom, but me as a mom over the years, one of the things that we really need to shake off throughout the day is stress, right?
Multiple times.
And I know from teaching meditation, it is the foundational tool that we all begin with. I think that there is a misperception that it's difficult or it has to be some formality, and I want to simplify that for all of us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think a lot of people are, like you said, I think a lot of people are intimidated by meditation, and they don't realize how accessible it is to everybody.
Absolutely. So we're going to make it
excited.
totally accessible right now for everybody.
Yay!
All right.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to invite you, if you can, to close your eyes just for focus, because we get to shut out all of the outside stimuli and just come into our inner world. And we're going to use the power of our imagination. When we breathe in, always at a rate that's comfortable for you. Inhale and imagine beautiful healing white light coming in through your nostrils, filling your lungs and your heart. Hold it for a moment, and when you exhale, send it back out into the room. Again, inhaling, healing, white light, holding it in your lungs and your heart. Exhale and send it back into the room. Now allow your legs to soften. Let your belly be soft and your hips. Softening all the muscles in your back. Allowing your shoulders to drop. Your neck softening. Your jaw and your mouth softening. And all of the tiny muscles in your face softening. As your mind becomes more awake and alert, imagine opening your crown, and the beautiful light that you are showers through you like a beautiful waterfall. Breathe it all the way in, deep into your heart, and on the next exhale, imagine your heart and your solar plexus opening, throwing those doors open, exhaling and radiating like a sun. Again, on the next inhale, breathing in that healing white light deep into your heart. And when you exhale, open your heart and the solar plexus underneath it, blooming open, radiating like a sun. And one more time, breathing in that light through your crown, a waterfall deep into your heart. And when you exhale, your heart and your solar plexus blooming open and radiating like a sun. Become aware of the shift in your body, the clarity in your mind, and the opening of peace in your heart. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Oh, that felt so good.
Good.
That was like a legit treat. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm really excited that we're going to put that in the tutorial so you guys have that accessible to you at any time. Something that I wanted to just ask during that time, some things that I picked up on during that time that I think some viewers might have a question about. And you did say in your meditation that the solar plexus is a space right under the heart.
Yes.
But I just was wondering if you could show people where that is on the body so that
Yes.
they understand. And when you said crown, where it is that you were referring
Sure.
to.
So the crown is where we would wear our crown, right? And we would just imagine that opening and breathing in the actual light that we are. We're all light. We're beings of light and energy. And so when we tune into that, we can heighten the awareness and the energy of that. Breathing it into our heart center and the actual muscle of our heart, because we take in stress there, right? And then right underneath it is, there's a soft spot there where the ribs begin. This is the solar plexus. And we want to imagine both of these centers blooming open like a beautiful lotus flower,
Ooh,
right?
I like that.
And then radiating our heart out like a sun. When we do that, there's actually a mechanical component to this here. There's a reason behind this, is that we take in the world through our heart. All the nerves respond here. We take it in, it goes up to the brain, and then the brain tells the body what to do. Energetically, all of our thoughts will pool in this solar plexus.
You can kind of feel that too.
Yes.
When you're getting stressed out, you feel that tension.
Yeah.
And here you feel like you can't breathe, you can't fill
Exactly.
up all the way. So that makes
Exactly.
sense. Yeah.
And you notice and about the breathing that a lot of us, if you tune in when you're feeling stress, even the slightest amount, you'll notice that sometimes your breath feels like it's just very shallow and it's coming to like this part and it's not filling your whole body. If you're doing that, you're increasing the stress. So this very brief, I mean, what do we do? A couple
That
of
was
minutes
like 3
there?
minutes, definitely. Yeah. It was
Very
fast.
brief meditative exercise. You can shift anything. You can pull the car over, really. I've done it. And you can pull the car over and just get yourself centered again and be on your way.
Yeah, I mean-
peacefully, composed, and energized.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That makes, and when you talked about pulling the car over,
Mhm.
I think sometimes people are hesitant to take 2 or 3 minutes and they're not necessarily thinking about how much time in their day they're putting towards negative thought processes and freaking out when they can just take a couple of minutes and really feel empowered and take control of their lives, which is a lot of what you
Yes.
teach people to do.
Yeah, and that's when you're in your thoughts
Yeah.
instead of in your heart or your spiritual self, right? So one of the things that I love to share, I think this is so important. If you know it, it bears repeating because I think we all could use the reminder that 20 minutes of meditation,
Yes.
it equals 4 hours of rest to our body. To this day, it blows my mind. I just
Yeah.
can't believe that if I treat myself to a full 20 minutes, if you can, when you can, it's something to build to, but just consider that full 20 minutes, it's the equivalent of 4 hours of rest.
And that's measurable. This
Yeah.
is like scientifically,
science,
yeah,
yes.
that's scientifically based. A
Yes.
lot of people, I think, when they hear spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
they don't realize that a lot of the energy is measurable, and energy is measurable, and that's a lot of what you work with and
Yes.
teach, right?
Yes.
Before I get into a little bit about your story,
Mhm.
which is so inspirational, I wanted to just ask a couple of other questions and pick your brain a little bit.
Sure.
We've had a couple of posts recently from some of our admins and moderators who talk to the group and share with the group. And it's so funny because the last 2 days in a row,
Mhm.
each post was somebody reaching out saying, I'm having trouble basically getting myself together. My child is, having a rough day, or I'm feeling run down. What is it? How do I handle this? And one of the posts was someone asking, Amanda, one of our admins, saying that her son was in the car basically crying and freaking out, and she had to now pick up her other son. So in this case, pulling over wasn't really an option because she had to be to the school to pick up somebody else at a
Right.
certain time.
Right.
And she was asking, how do I manage this without emotion. For her go-to would be emotional eating. And I think a lot of the viewers might have questions when you're in those moments where, you know, closing your eyes or pulling over isn't really an option. How do you
Sure.
regain your center when you have to be on,
Yes.
so to speak, as a mom?
Yes. So, while you know all of the programs that I teach help people go into the depth of the causes of the distress and how to heal that, there definitely are ways that you can overcome it right in the moment. And one way to do that, and let's use Amanda's visual here. If you're driving, right? So your eyes must be open, you must stay focused, and you have to go pick up your child. Time is of the essence. So you keep your eyes open and just imagine breathing in with your eyes open, white light. And on that exhale, open the heart and the solar plexus. And you do cycles of that at a rate that's comfortable for you. Just, you know, easy breathing, but just keep it a cycle. And remember that when you calm your energy, your children, this is more science, your children are etherically connected to you. It is spiritual. We feel that closeness with our children.
Definitely.
But there is science to back this. Those children are connected to you. So if mom is composed, if mom is feeling balanced, the children are much more likely to follow without anything being said or done. It's a beautiful process.
I think for all of us, if we really stop for a second and think back in our day, even, let's say, we can see that that's actually the case.
Yes.
That our kids really, at times, I mean, they're their own people, but at times they're a reflection of what's going on internally for us, especially when they're really little.
Absolutely. I think they're a great motivator for us to really maybe revisit the idea of how we treat ourselves, what we might be doing to maintain our well-being or improve our well-being. It's so important.
Absolutely.
You know, how mom is feeling is the vibe in the home.
It's so true.
You know?
You know, I'm glad that you said that, because that's a lot of what we really strive to do with Dynamic Moms. Another component of us is to help moms to perhaps consider using motherhood as an opportunity to experience a rebirth within themselves.
Yes.
And an awakening. And children, we're very blessed to have children as an inspiration for that for us.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, that's like it's an added bonus.
Yeah.
One more thing about meditation that I wanted to ask you, and I know that this is something that you taught me that I think would also benefit a lot of our viewers, if not all of them, is about meditation being really just that single focal point.
Yes, yes. And in line with what I was saying earlier, is that we want to keep this simple. Meditation at its core is single pointed focus. So that means focusing on one thing. You know, we've always been, as a species, we've been, you know, focused on the things outside of us. But in this day, we are really distracted.
Amplified.
I mean, it is just amplified. It's social media, television, phones, friends, kids, calendars, right? All of it, and work and relationships. And I mean, the list just goes on and on. If you begin, just like we gave you at the beginning here, a minute at a time, just a minute. You know, I've often said to people who said to me, I can't do this. When you're waiting for the water to boil, you know, just single pointed focus. Maybe you're focused on the kettle. That's it. Just be present, be there. When you have single pointed focus, you are meditating.
That I think is really important, guys, to understand. I know that that's been really helpful for me as a person who kind of naturally is this internal busy bee, and I can be easily distracted by external things around me. When you taught me that was like golden for me, one of my major tools. And that for me includes when you talk about like focusing on that teapot.
Yeah.
I trace it with my eyes.
Beautiful.
Like that's what, you know, I think that you mean by focal point too, is you don't have to like pinpoint look at something. It's really appreciating that one focal point in the moment.
Yes.
Like looking at its detail. That counts.
And we had talked about when I was waiting for my son
Yes.
at his lesson.
Yeah, can you tell that story?
Yeah,
Okay.
it just came to mind because I think this is really important. There's another wonderful time as a mom that you can utilize And I know, so, I mean, we're on Facebook right now, right? And it's a great way to connect. It's an amazing way to connect. But I was sharing with Monet that I had taken my son to his art lesson, and I spent the time literally focused on the beautiful trees that were all around the studio and just tuning into them, following them, outlining them, and tuning into their energy. It was such a healing experience that I still remember it to this day, and it's one of the tools that I offer you to consider. If you're bringing your child to an event, maybe take one of those times to not socialize, to not get on social media. Go be still. Take advantage, even if it's 10 minutes, take advantage of the opportunity to be still. And for me, one of my favorite messages from the Bible is be still and know that I am.
I am, yes.
It's a time to connect with your higher power.
Totally. I absolutely agree with that. And that's, again, it doesn't have to take long. And something that I think is important for a lot of people to begin to think about is the prevention in taking these few minutes. So prevention, something that I learned working in the emergency room, one of my preceptors said to me was be proactive, not reactive.
Absolutely.
Right? And if you take these 10 minutes that you're describing when you're just hanging out anyway, instead of getting on your phone, you're being proactive, and then you're not that mom in 2 hours who's yelling at their kid because they're feeling overwhelmed.
Yes,
and
that's the foundation of everything that I teach is proactiveness. Too often, again, we are a reactive culture. If something goes wrong, we run to that emergency room, right?
Yes.
But there are things that are within our control, and this is one of them. Being mindful throughout the course of the day. It's just like water on a stone. It can go to the negative, little drops at a time, right? Or it can go to the positive. So take a few moments throughout the day and remember this breath work.
It really works, guys.
Yeah.
So I'll stop picking your brain because I could go on and on, because this is something I didn't mention in the beginning. I did mention that Dr. Christine is a Doctor of Metaphysical Healing, but she does have an extensive amount of experience in a lot of areas, and she's a wealth of knowledge and has so much education. I mean, the list of certifications and information that she's acquired just goes, and affiliations just goes on and on and on and on and on. So this is like, truthfully, your many, many years of experience has accelerated my wisdom and journey, in my journey. Like, you've given so much in your life for me, having been somebody who works with you, that you've saved me years, truthfully. So decades, glad. Honestly, probably decades of learning. So, but you have to be willing to be open and listen, and yes. you're really good at helping people with that. So I'll stop pricking your brain, but I am going to ask if you could share a little bit with our viewers about your journey and tell us how you got to where you are. I know it's a long story, but give us your key points.
Yes.
And if you could then talk to us about how you were led to become a metaphysician,
sure,
or a doctor of metaphysical healing, and then tell us what it is that you do as a metaphysician and what you offer to people.
Okay, so I began in the corporate world. I always thought I was going to end up on Wall Street, which is really hilarious at this point. But I did. I went to school for business and finance, but at that time, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. And one of the things, I think the most important component of that was that when she was diagnosed, she was told that was it. Like, we were not to even pursue any ideas of healing, right? So something woke up in me. It was beyond a child being devastated hearing this news. There was something connected to spirit that said, get busy.
It gives me chills.
And it's because it's the truth, right? And I just knew there was something to do here. So I pursued, I researched. This was before social media, before there was the internet was just coming in. It was just crazy, right? Computers were just starting. So I had to dig. And I dug and I dug, and we found things that really helped my mom. My mom was with us for 8 years. So
and they said
they said weeks.
Yeah.
No, weeks.
Oh.
Like, if at best.
Thank God that you.
Yeah. So, it wasn't all me. It was my mom. It was the doctors. It was a whole team effort. The doctors did experimental surgery with her. I mean, it's quite a story. But the point here to share is that it really woke up in me two things. One is that our bodies are miraculous. Their ability to heal and regenerate is just amazing. And that nothing is random, everything is being created all day long. It's our thoughts and our feelings, and primarily in the subconscious. Those are the places where, we call it in the transpersonal psychology world, the grave of buried feelings, because we bury them and we don't want to look at them anymore. But it is the place that is influencing how we receive the world and how we feel about our place in the world, right? So all of this was learned as I studied nutrition, and then I moved into spirituality and psychology. It just kept going, and it got deeper and deeper, right? So I just learned that we have the ability to heal, and we need to be open, we need to be humble, and remain students for life. I'm still a student.
Right.
I will always be a student. I think learning is like my energy.
It's ever evolving too.
Yeah, it's always evolving.
You talk about layers of the onion and, learning things and you kind of experience, I know something you taught me that I think people would benefit from is learning, allowing that to assimilate,
yes,
and experiencing that, and then moving forward.
That's right.
I know for myself, and I know a lot of other moms, we're always like, go, 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 go. And so we think, okay, I got this, right? But then we don't actually let ourselves experience it or reap the benefits of what it is that we've sowed.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the subconscious, I think that that's something that's valuable to understand about that too for moms, is that because we are go, 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 we just keep putting stuff into that graveyard.
Absolutely.
And that's a lot of what you work with.
Yeah. It is, all I can say is that I encourage every woman listening to consider that when you heal yourself, you become a healer for your family. And I know that, I was scrambling when my mom was ill. It was crisis, right? But later on, there were other loved ones who went through their own, different journeys. And what I was able to contribute meant the world to me and to them, because I was prepared, because I had been willing to take this journey of education and assimilating it and then working it through my life, and then ultimately it became my career.
Yeah.
So when you have that already, don't wait for the crisis. Now is the time to educate, broaden yourself, and start using the things to make yourself feel strong and healthy and at your best. Now you have something to offer the people you love.
Yeah, absolutely. And even beyond that. So be, again, proactive, not reactive. And a question that I had for you that came up in my mind when you were talking about, when you talked about furthering your education and how it evolved over time, there was a significant chunk of time that you were educating yourself and in school to complete your degree as a Doctor of Metaphysics while you had kids, correct?
Yes, it was actually while I was pregnant, and with some really major morning sickness for 9 months. And my mentors were amazing with me, supportive, helpful, fellow students, but it was a lot of work. I had support at home as well, but it has to come from within you. You've got to know that those babies coming through you, the children that you have, they're going to be fine. And we don't need to be with them 24/7, just us, right? We become a better mother. We become better partners, better wives, better at our jobs, a better friend. We become better when we commit ourselves to our passion.
When we show up for ourselves too, essentially.
Yeah. So I pushed through those pregnancies, and my kids, they speak my language now, and that's an exciting thing to watch. I have got one who's going to be 21 in 2 weeks. I can't even believe that. And another one who's 13, and I've got 2 beautiful stepchildren, and it's just amazing to watch them speak the language and live it in their way. Live metaphysical healing in their way, but they understand thoughts and feelings. So if anybody is considering the possibilities of, working on that, I offer an amazing array of programs
No
from
joke, guys.
beginner to advanced
Yeah.
on how to conduct this healing within yourself.
And that's, and really, we'll post, when I put this on our YouTube channel, I'll post your website, because I
Great.
know that you do have a lot of different options for people available. You make things so accessible to everyone because you're so passionate and you believe in what it is that you do.
Yes.
A couple of things that I wanted to mention before we finish the interview, and you did touch upon pretty much what it is that you do. You offer to people is you help them really go within and get rid of all that subconscious stuff with all of the different tools that you have to offer.
Yeah, and it's about building your own personal toolbox. It's learning right from the, ground up, learning how to meditate, and then learning how to channel. And we do this right in level 1, my healing sanctuary. We learn how to channel from our higher self, right? You learn how to frame effective questions, not just, what is my life purpose, or how do I make this career go, but the real effective questions that will give you the steps, the building block steps, day by day through your life. I've used them for myself. I've taught them for years. They are amazingly effective. And then, we go into deeper programs of holistic healing of all different types, working in relationships, health and nutrition, whatever focus that you'd like to do. But I do want to squeeze in.
Yeah, no, please do.
Because we're live.
Yeah.
This coming Tuesday, I have a webinar in conjunction with Lisa Joy Walters from Widow Walking Forward. And if you haven't seen that page, please go check it out. It's amazing. And we're putting together this webinar for you on Tuesday night. You need to register for this event. You can find that on Dr. Christine Malenda MhD or Widow Walking Forward. And register now. It's called Healing Through the Holidays, a Holistic Approach. So many of us have experienced different transitions in our life. Death, loss, illness, divorce. I can remember the first holiday I was without my children because of a divorce. And all of these things, I don't think people realize how intense it is for the individual going through it. And, whatever that might be, you may even want to prepare for the day where you might have to experience, I remember the first holidays without my mom, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
So we put together this webinar for you where you're going to get really the tools to move through the holidays holistically. We're not talking about medications or, numbing ourselves. We want to walk through this holiday peacefully, and we're going to give you the ability to do that. And it's going to include a beautiful healing meditation.
I think that's wonderful, and I hope that people choose to take advantage of that. I know that for myself, for example, the holidays can be a time when people feel like they should be happy and they're not, because they've experienced, like you said, some kind of loss, and then that causes inner conflict. And I know I'm going to definitely attend, unless like a kid has a problem or something like that, because I haven't. But it's definitely my goal to attend that, because it will be so beneficial.
Yeah, and it's on the events page on my website.
And we're going to list the website with this also. I did want to get to, you do have a dynamic deal for us that you're going to offer, and you did share that with me, and I'm really excited. I want you to tell our viewers, guys, this is an amazing opportunity. And you know what? Before she tells you, though, there's something I do want to mention that I don't know if you thought of to say, because I know you have so much you can offer. You mentioned your mom passed away of cancer, and Dr. Christine does run, it's like a program or it's a program or a series of programs and events called Wisdom for Cancer Warriors. And I do know more than one mom who has had breast cancer, and it's not just for somebody who has breast cancer or any cancer. It's people who have experienced cancer in their lives. So if you are a loved one or have a friend who has cancer, Wisdom for Cancer Warriors is also something that could benefit you, because I know it has touched the lives of so many, and it comes straight from somebody who's experienced it themselves.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning
that.
Yeah,
I wanted to share that, because I think it has a lot to offer.
You can find a page on Facebook, Wisdom for Cancer Warriors, and I'd love to see you there. Give us a hello that you're following, and
I'm sure a lot of great videos and tips with that as well.
Yeah, that's what it is. It really is wisdom for anyone who's been touched in any way by that journey beyond cancer, you know. So
I just wanted to,
yeah,
I
I'm
wanted
glad
to let you guys
mentioned
know
it.
about that.
Thank you.
And now, our dynamic deal. So please tell us what it is that you have to offer our dynamic moms.
So I thought about this long and hard because I really wanted to make it special and unique for the dynamic moms. You know, I thought, as a mom, what would I want, right? And especially if you've never worked with me before, I think this is a wonderful introduction to come and have a healing experience. So the offer is a 30-minute amethyst crystal biomat energy healing. It includes a spiritual energy healing from me, facilitating it while you are experiencing the amethyst crystal energy, the far infrared ray healing energy that penetrates through the entire human body. It is so powerful that science has shown it gets rid of virus cells, cancer cells, and all the other bad things that float around. So I am very excited to offer this. It's a 30-minute healing experience, and I've put it at the unbelievably low price for just dynamic moms at $55.
Which is awesome.
So please go to my website, contact me, and let us know that you heard from Dynamic Moms and Monet, that you heard about the 30-minute healing special, and we will get you on the calendar.
And again, the website will be posted. And does this have an expiration date? Just so
Yes.
we let them know.
I'm letting this offer be valid through January 30th of 2019.
Oh, so that's a great New Year's treat, you guys.
Yeah.
So again, prevention, proactive, not reactive.
Yeah, and maybe you let your family know that's what you want for a gift this year.
Ooh, that's good. And this is a really incredible offer. It's something that I really hope people take advantage of. And we do have to end our time in just a moment. This has been such an amazing, like a really incredible interview, and I'm so grateful that I've had the opportunity to speak with you and share this with so many mothers who could benefit from all you have to offer. I do want to mention again about the dynamic deal that you're offering. I myself have laid on that bed. I'm going to show you guys what her healing bed looks like, because you know we're live. So just take a look here. So she has this healing bed that is like a super soft blanket that she has there, and her office is so peaceful. And just Christine's presence, before I met Christine, somebody said to me, oh, she just glows. And, and honestly, I think when I first met you, I was like, this person was right. You do. So, and what I've learned is that, you know, through doing all the things that she teaches, you too can be that person who you walk into the room and people are like, oh, she just glows, because you truly are filled with inner peace as often as you possibly can be, and you do find the tools to access that. So after you do that kind of healing, because I've done it myself, like I said, I was on that table, you come out, it's not just like you go for a massage and you feel better for a little while, then you need another massage a couple weeks later. I remember doing that, and it was as if a layer of that onion had literally fallen off of me. So, you know, these things that you do are the layers of you that you want to change and transform, and they're permanent foundational changes that come from within. So things like that are there more than just a treatment, you know, that's temporary. This is the kind of thing that can help to change you really. It's a forever change. So I hope that you guys will take advantage of that.
I do too. Consider it like this. It is really all encompassing, and this is why this is from my heart. It's a body, mind, and spirit. Truly, it is the definition of body, mind, and spirit healing. So I hope you'll take advantage of it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys have a fabulous day. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Monet.
You're so welcome.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye, Dynamic Moms.
Bye-bye.
Have a great one.